Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and with me is Berry Place 28, and we want to welcome you guys to the Resort Recon live stream show. Here we chat about what's going on with the theme parks with a couple of my other theme park nerdy friends, and we answer your questions, and we just have a great time here. So, how you doing, Barry Blaze?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm inside, nice and cool. So I like this.
It hasn't started getting hot here yet in California, but it's a lot more humid in Florida, that's for sure.
It's like swimming
Mm,
through like a sauna all day.
yeah.
All day. It's like I tell people, okay, those matching t-shirts look cute, but when it gets hot and sticky and humid, you are going to loathe doing
Mm,
that.
I
Mm. So go to Walmart, get the, performance shirts all in the same color. Trust me, you will be way more comfortable. I mean, you'll look like a commando unit, which I think is also kind of cool, but you'll
funny.
be all nice and comfortable. And let's see, we got one more person here. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing? Can you hear me
Oh,
Ron.
okay?
good.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
we
good.
can hear you fine.
Yay. It always works when I'm on somebody else's stream.
Well, we are definitely glad that you're here. It's going to be a fun show. Of course, since we got Barry Place here, we're going to be talking about Not Scary Farm, and we are also going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights. I know there are those of you out there who are interested in non-Disney spooky season events, and Not Scary Farm and Halloween Horror Nights are two of the best ones. I know
Uh,
there's Howl Scream.
Hello, Scream.
I haven't been there yet.
I have.
We can talk about Howl Scream. I've heard about all these that are out there. So there are alternatives, and we're gonna get into those on today's show. But first of all, Go and Shogi gifted one Lorena Creole membership. Thank you so very much for that. I love it when you guys share the love. We've got so many generous members like Go and Shogi that donate memberships. So please make sure a gift. Make sure you're opted in because with the scary season comes a lot of benefits for channel members, whether it's watch parties that we all watch everything on screen, especially with the Universal monsters. Let's just say that's coming. Some cheesy favorites of mine, Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, and some other ones, the classic ones like, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Disney Halloween shorts, Trick or Treat, stuff like that. So yeah, lots of that stuff coming up for you guys. So thank you, Go and Shogi, for gifting that. And see, we have got, of course, Little Mouse 27. Good to see you here in the chat. Says hi. We have got let's see, hold on, sure. One second. Let's see. Little mouse. He said hello to you. Let's see who else did I say? Did I get Northman? No, I didn't. Northman. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. And let's see. We have got Goof R35 who says, "Hey there." Well, hey, and good to see you. Barry Place on the panel saying good morning to everyone. I know it's really early where he is, so I'm grateful he could join us. Angelina Serini says, "Hello, Lorena Creole. How are you? I'm doing good. Inside, cool, hanging out with you guys." And Keely Chow says, "Hey, everybody. Good morning. What's going on?" Well, Keely, roll tide. It's great going on here. Got some great stuff to talk about. I'm excited about. And let's see. It's Florentine. Hello, Helios friends. Yes, I'm hoping to get to some news about Helios, which is they're already building it. The hotel that is going to be at Epic Universe, which looks insane. insane.
Looks
Oh my
amazing.
gosh, the hotel looks it looks crazy. It looks like, and I could be projecting, but at Tokyo Disneyland, there is this hotel. Disneyland Hotel, I think is what it's called. Barry looks like he knows what I'm talking about. It's gorgeous. And I swear Universal looked at it and said, you know what?
Bobby.
We're going to use this hotel to start making renderings about. So I'll have to bring up what it looks like. But as soon as I saw Helios, I'm like, I've seen a hotel like that. Why do I feel like I've seen a hotel like that?
It looks great.
Oh, it's so.
I'm excited for what that view is going to bring from the top of Helios because of the direction that it looks. It's going to be pretty cool.
Well, even just from the animation video, it looks amazing, and so I can't wait to see it. Like you know, the real thing. It'll be like, wow, look at that.
Oh, gosh, I drive by and I look, and for those who don't know what we're talking about, I'll throw this up here really quick so you can see. That's what we're talking about. Now, this is the artist's rendering, but I've also seen, the construction that's going on, and it looks even more gorgeous.
Is this the view from the park, or is it from entering? It looks like it might be from the park.
This is from the park, so this is the park view. So you would be, as soon as you enter the I think it's the Kronos that they're saying, as soon as you get into the park and you go through that arch, this is the view that you'll get. And it's not lost on me that this view reminds me in a way of Cinderella's castle, but I want to say like modernized, just that same focus. Like when you walk into Main Street USA and you look straight down and you see the castle and how gorgeous it is.
Here's a smart thing about that. And when you're on Main Street and you're looking at the castle, what's the one wish everybody has? Oh, I wish I could stay there. Oh my gosh, the selling point of a place you could actually go and stay.
Right.
I mean, we're talking zero occupancy all year, zero availability all year long. That place is going to be booked solid.
It is. Oh my gosh, it really is. Just where it is, where it's located, dedicated entrance into Epic Universe. I'm like, okay, I've already got a mason jar labeled Helios Hotel on it, so I can continuously put money in it. But this hotel is going to be amazing, and we'll get to the fly through a little later on in the show, where we'll go through it. But before we get to the fly through, I just want to show you. This is the hotel
in Tokyo.
Disneyland.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yep, love the way it looks.
My jaw just drops.
The Oriental Land Company, they know what they're doing, but I mean, the times that my understanding they've actually had to fight Disney to do what they want to do. It's so funny because it's like, but they have it right, so shush.
Oh, I know. It's just like they know what people want. They know what people want. They know what people want to see, and they're very much into keeping that heritage of Walt Disney with the parks, and it's wonderful. I'm just like, wow, I have to go there. Unofficial Chris Bliss, Walt called the castle a weenie and said every park needs a big weenie. Well, you know what? He's not wrong. He's absolutely, definitely not wrong, because you walk in the park and you see this. Now, granted, this is close up, but from further away, you see like all the gardens and the water features and everything. And just like with Main Street USA, they're the buildings that line aside, and then there's that open area garden where the partner statue is with Walt and with Mickey, and then there's a castle.
You know, it's kind of ironic because today the company is run by a big weenie.
Ron went there. Wow.
Yeah,
It's
he sure
okay
did.
because it's weenie's an okay word. We're okay with that.
It's okay. We can say weenie, sucker,
Maybe it's a little
stuff,
weenie. I don't know.
stuff like
But,
stuff like that. We can say that. But since we have Berry Place here for a short amount of time, first of all, 15 of you guys in here watching, please do hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And I would love it if my mods would drop the links to Berry Place and Ron Bradley's channel. Follow Bradley's one. You guys can drop that in the chat. What we are going to kick off with is Knott's Scary Farm.
Oh yes. For those of you guys that are not familiar with Not Scary Farm, this is the park that started it all. So if you want to thank anyone for starting Halloween haunts, Not Scary Farm is where it started 50 years, actually 51 years ago now. And so it's amazing that it's just, gotten so popular at other theme parks and whatnot. And I'm glad because, we have some variety, but this is the original, which is kind of cool. And they've had a lot of, mazes over the years. Last year, they celebrated the 50th anniversary. And so they had a tribute maze, which actually, I'm going to try to show you some of the photos and maybe even walk through on my live stream.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
got a lot of stuff set up, and I just got it set up as the stream was starting. So you might bear with me while I get some of the stuff going. But it's kind of cool because last year in past years, they've done pass holder events where you could actually apply for free to go to this event. And it was like maybe an hour long where they tell you what's coming, what new mazes they're going to have, what new food, what new shows, all that stuff. And it's really, really cool. But starting last year with the 50th anniversary, they said, we're going to make this a ticket event for $20. We're going to have a few rides open. We are going to have a big presentation for about an hour, and then you'll get to walk through a maze with the lights on and no scares. And we'll have, some of the food and drinks that you can try. They will be Ghost Town open with all the scares, so you can check that out. And it was really kind of neat. And they also brought, I forgot to bring it, but they have a lantern, and the lantern is an interactive lantern, which is really, really cool. Isn't that neat? So the lantern, if you just leave it on the regular, I guess, yellow light, anytime you encounter something interactive, your lamp will flash blue, and then when it's done, it turns red, or sometimes, it does turn red when something's going to happen. And they have things throughout the park, like you might be standing in Ghost Town, and all of a sudden a monster will pop up on top of the building that's animatronic and start, talking and doing something. You could be in a maze where an animatronic comes to life and scares you, or you could be walking through another maze where all of a sudden a picture that looks like a regular picture suddenly is a video screen, and the monster is screaming or yelling at you. So it's really, really interesting to see what they do. But this interactive lantern, they charge $40 for it. It was so popular, they sold out within, I want to say within the first couple weeks. They sold out of all the lanterns, and everyone was like, "Whoa, you need to bring that back." So they brought it back this year. It's got a Black Widow on the actual lantern part. This time it looks the same as last year, just a Black Widow, because that's we're going to talk about that new maze that has to do with the Black Widow. But what was interesting last year is that they actually just had everyone walk in, go in front of the stage, and then kind of go throughout the park. Well, this year they decided to spice it up a little bit more. It was still only 3 hours long, and to be honest with you, 3 hours is not long enough for this. But what they did is they actually tried to make it more like Not Scary Farm. So when you go to Not Scary Farm, the whole theme is Sarah Marshall, and she is Sarah Marshall was accused of being a witch, and in the town of Calico. And of course, Calico is based on the real Calico ghost town here in California. That's what Walter Knott decided to do. And but they came up with this fictional story about Sarah Marshall, who was accused of being a witch. Turns out when they went to hang her, they did make she was a witch, and she puts a curse on Calico. So she kind of roams throughout the park. At the same time, you have this new person called the conductor, and the conductor has a lantern himself, and he brings the minions out with Sarah Marshall, and he guides you through these creatures. And it's kind of really cool how they brought the conductor out. So what I'm going to show you first, and let me go ahead and present this. Give me 1 second to bring this up.
Okay, sure.
Here we go. So everyone's standing here waiting to get in, and they had us enter in the back of the park. And the conductor, you can barely see, he's up in the top kind of center right of the picture. And
I see him. Yeah.
But he's
that
actually
structure up there.
And kind of get everyone excited. Now, no one knew what to expect. Everyone thought, oh, they're just going to let us in like they did last year. But this time they upped the whole show factor by about 100%, which was awesome because they made it an experience instead of just, oh, we're just going to go to this event. So this is the actual part with the conductor. So let's go ahead and play that.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay. That's so creepy.
Greetings, my grotesque queens. It is I, the conductor. Not scary fun. Tonight, pull back the veil and unleash the insane itinerary for you. I have assembled a sinister smorgasbord of creatures from all the realms and their dying to make their acquaintance. I watch your steps as the gates grind.
Now, this guy reminds me of Dr. Oddfellow last year at Halloween Horror Nights, where as soon as the ceremonies open, he starts the official opening of the ceremony. So that's super cool.
It really is. And so when he's kind of, I think this is kind of the end here, and then he lets everyone in. But that's what they actually do when you do go to Not Scary Farm. Sarah Marshall comes out, the witch. She talks about the minions coming out, and then as the minions come out, they're coming through Ghost Town with a bunch of fog, and the conductor walks right through them, and then all of a sudden they unleash everyone towards the monsters, and the monsters go into the crowd and just scare everyone, and it's really, really cool. Let me go ahead and continue playing this real quick.
Yeah.
You have so much more to show. Come, my creatures.
And there's some of the creatures right there. Hard to see though.
At all points between beings that have served themselves up a night of terror and greed. Welcome to Nightmare.
Okay, I see. Oh, all right. I see like a pair of horns running.
Oh, yeah.
And the fog. There we go.
I just came up with a brilliant idea.
What's that?
If I were in charge of these parks and this thing, when this kind of thing was happening, I would see if I could figure out a way, maybe through an app or something that everybody normally would have running on the phone or something, but like a way to make it look like all of your cell phones were just taken over while you have them up, you're trying to film, and like all of the monsters like, or the main monster, all of a sudden he's on your cell phone. Not you're filming him, but he's there. And he's talking to you now through your cell phone while you're all holding him up, and you're like, "What are you doing filming me? I'm right here." Would be like, can you imagine the scare factor?
Give it another 10 years. I'm sure we'll see something like that. Anyhow, this is, I'm going to just briefly show this part because some of the monsters come through.
Oh, here they are.
Ew.
I'm just fascinated by the extraordinary makeup job and costuming job they do for this.
So later in my video, we do go to a section, and we didn't stay too long. I didn't realize how long it was going to be, but they actually had a makeup event where they actually showed you what it was like for the makeup artists to do the makeup on all the scare actors. Now, at any one time, if they can have 360 scare actors in all the different mazes they have to do makeup for, so you have to have like 360 different artists, or maybe close to it, makeup artists who are working on these actors, and it takes them. They do it pretty quickly, but they spend hours working on these actual makeup or scare actors. So, but yeah. So, and by the way, sorry you couldn't hear the conductor very well. I know that in the background, the speaker was not as close to me, and it was hard to hear. But let me show you what was next, and I'm going to bring it forward just a little bit. So, once we moved up past this area, we actually had the bride. Now, the bride, she's actually a friend of mine, and she actually helps create some of the mazes that we have here at Not Scary Farm. We worked on one of the new ones. Oops, let me back it up a little bit. She's really scary, and
oh my goodness, from this far away, I'm impressed. I'm like obsessed with SFX makeup. So
it doesn't look like I'm far, but I'm pretty far away from her, and so I was trying to do my best to zoom in and show her, but she's freaky. And this is no fog. This is daylight still. But she can tell she did really get some parts. And then right after that, Sarah Marshall came out. I do have a different video, but I think I'm going to show this one because you can see where she comes out. So let me see if we can go here. And then this is where they actually so we thought, okay, the conductor came out, they're going to let us go straight to the Calico stage where they're going to do the presentation. Well, they made us stop here in front of the Golden Trails Hotel, which is a mercantile store down below. And sure enough, boom, here comes Sarah Marshall.
oh wow.
So that I can see you. Halloween has come early, my little victims. Tonight, we dance with the darkness and revel in the wrong. You come seeking scintillating secrets. And we all know what curiosity did to the cat. Down! Oh, delicious! You come willingly into my clutches. The perfect victims. So wanting, so full of desire. And you shall be sated. Come closer and take a bite of the forbidden fruit of death. My creatures await. My minions are approaching. Join the rabble at the Calico Mine stage. If you can stay alive that long.
So completely new for this year.
Well,
all right, everyone.
that's just getting to the stage, and this is just the event. the announcement event. They call it Nightmares Revealed. So this is the actual
Mhm.
stage that they do the announcement on, and they basically have they had Lady Vamp come out, and she was one of the guests who hosted with one of the creators of the mini mazes, and they basically kind of walk you through, hey, what to expect. They do have a buffet, or they call it a buffet. And basically, yeah, but it's cool. They actually have scare actors that come by, and they don't really scare you during dinner. They talk to you more, but it's really cool because they still kind of stay in character a little bit.
Mhm.
And then you have these, amazing different foods to try and eat. And then after that, you can go into the park early if you make reservations early enough. And it's a lot of fun. And of course, I think it's like an extra $50 to do that. And then, they talk about the mazes and the scare zones. And they have 2 new mazes this year that they talk about. And they are, I'm not going to try to remember here because one of them is very interesting. So the scare zones they have are like Carnival, the Timber Mountain Log Ride, the Candy Cane Mine Train, and let me see if I can find the last 2 here. And they also have a couple of good shows. They have The Hanging, which has been a very popular show. It's a very comical but scary show. And then they also have a new magic show called Conjurers, and they have Cirque du La Freak or something like that. And that's a pretty neat show too. They're talking about Conjurers. Let me go a little bit back here, see if I can find.
Wow.
So on the screen here, they're showing how they made the mazes, what the new mazes are, which is kind of cool. Up here we go, new mazes.
Hear ye, hear ye, all gather. Hear ye, hear ye, all gather.
Town crier, I like that.
Announcement spreads throughout the town. From the forest to the town square, no child is safe. Lock your doors and snuff out your candles. Something is taking the women and the children.
What is taking the women and the children?
A creature most foul. Neither man nor beast. Nay, it is a demon. Lurking in the darkness, seeking out his next victim, upon whose flesh he will feast.
Aren't you being a little overdramatic?
Hear me and fear the dark. Your ignorance will not save you from your doom.
Sounds like a bunch of kids stuff to me.
Your mockery will not protect you. It will only incur his wrath. Your doubt only gives him power.
He thinks you've been reading too many scary books at night.
Fool! This cursed creature will tear you limb from limb. Many have succumbed to his fight. Many have been driven to the brink of madness as he slowly consumes their flesh. You who choose not to believe, you who choose not to beware.
Wow.
Your end.
Guess you leave now, huh? He took his hat.
So this is a new maze called 8 Fingers 9, the Boogeyman.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
I hate the boogeyman.
Oh, okay. And they,
Yeah, so what's great is they actually do this little acting presentation, and then they show a video about what the maze is all about, and then they actually show some of the people who made the maze and how they came up with the idea and why they're doing it. So we'll just show this real quick as like a lesson in that, I think.
If allow him to do your thumbs for a bite, he'll spare you your digits and quickly take flight. But if you allow him the smallest of taste, he'll enter a slumber and he'll lay you to waste. 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4.
Ooh.
Don't even bother with locking the door.
Yeah.
Fingers gone, and next will come 6. Your flesh he devours, he'll enter with your
Wow.
7 fingers now, then 8 fingers now. The feast's in full swing, the blood flows like wine.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
Does that look scary or what?
My uncle scared the hell out of me when I was a little kid. So my uncle was young. Uncle, we called him Uncle Momo. My mom's brother Morris, and I think he was only 14 or 15 when I was born. So he was a pretty young uncle. And when I was like 5, I'd go over to my grandparents' house, and he was living in the basement. And he would tell me that the boogeyman lived in his toilet. So I was always scared to go to the bathroom in the toilet because I was always afraid that if I went to the bathroom, the boogeyman was going to come up out of the toilet and get me. And like I still have that to this day in my head. So this stuff scares the heck out of me.
Well, I think what's really cool is that the artist took different nightmares they've had and actually drew what their version of a boogeyman would be. And they have those inside the maze in this one section where you can see all these different pictures of boogeymen. And so I think that's kind of neat because they created from their own visions that they've had and nightmares and dreams. And so they really they really inflect a lot of imagination into these mazes. Now they had some problems with the widow's video screen, so I think that's where we're at here, where he says, are we actually going to show it, because they played it and there was audio but no video. So I believe this is the widow's one. Widow's is, and there was a presentation with an older lady in the beginning, and supposedly the rumor goes about this one is that you go into this like convalescent type home with a bunch of old people, but the old people are really not old people. They're actually the spiders inside of them. And the main the main woman at the very end is actually controlled by a spider, and there's spiders throughout this whole entire maze. So here we go.
You got it. All right, so this is over where everybody's been watching it being built, right? Talking about the big spider.
And they finally got the video working.
I know an old lady who swallowed a spider. It wiggled and wriggled and tickled inside her.
The AT&T internet goes snapped me for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait, watch.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, that's not going to haunt your dreams at night. Everybody's going to die. Like, I can't go to sleep.
Spider coming out of me.
Isn't that crazy? So the bride that we saw earlier, this is actually her in real person. Her name is Gloria, and she actually helped create this maze. So not only do some of the scare actors act as scare actors, but they actually help create some of these mazes, which I think is pretty amazing. So
nice.
Yes. Anyhow, so throughout the maze, we get to experience a lot of different things and people and whatnot. I'm going to stop showing this because I'm going to try to show some photos real quick.
Okay.
So let me see here.
Snort.
Give me 1 second to bring those up.
I'm just geeking out at all the at all the makeup. I love looking at those like effects and how they do the textures, and the fact that you can see at a distance just how good it looks
Mhm.
shows just how talented these people are.
I'm scared there's a spider in my mouth now.
It's gonna crawl out.
It's like when you see those videos of the snakes in toilets, and you're like, for the next week, you're making sure you turn on the light when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You're like, I'm not. Ah!
I blame arachnophobia for making me scared spiders were gonna come out of my bowl of popcorn.
Oh my gosh, that was a heck of
Okay,
a movie.
so
Good movie.
this is so at the end of the night they give you a poster, double-sided. On one side they have the widow's poster, which you see here, and then on the other side they actually have the 8 fingers 9 on the other side. And this is free that they give to all the people who attend the actual event. And then these are just some of the
Where's
photos I
the
took.
bride?
So there's the bride again. There's my daughter with the conductor. There's me with the conductor. They have Carnival, which is a bunch of clowns. So she was out having
Ooh.
fun. That's one of the scare zones. This is a tribute maze. So this was where they had the 50th anniversary maze, and they basically took mazes from past years and they put them into one maze. And
Mhm.
at the end, they have like a cemetery for all the old mazes with their names and whatnot on them. But last year, they had the big 50th sign. Now they just have a K. But this was a walkthrough, and oops, as you walk through it, they have the lights on so you can
Mhm.
see everything. So there's no scare actors inside, but you can see the detail. Oh, look at that. That's scary. The phone booth. I haven't
Wow.
seen one of
Yeah.
The heck happened to Superman?
The
But
chupacabra.
yes, but they have so many neat things in this maze that are really, really cool. They have this circus area, and I don't think I have photos of it, but you walk through this area where there's a bunch of elephants behind that are facing you, and they're farting, and you can smell it. Not so great. It's right behind this clown area, but they have vampire section. I mean, they have all sorts of different things. There's a dollhouse section like this.
Oh, that's creepy.
They
Creepy
have the
dolls
crypts,
freak me out.
and these crypts here actually have the names of the past mazes that you can see on them. So the time machine,
Wow.
delirium, trick or treats. But it's neat that they let you walk through the maze. They also have a tribute store. They call it the Legacy Store.
Mhm.
And so this is what it looks like inside. And this is a store. I mean, the details they put into this place are pretty amazing. This is also inside the store. It says "Not Scary Farm, where nightmares never end." And if you zoom out, it looks like this. Then they
Oh.
have vamps that are there to. They usually have 3. They had 2 there that night. So that's my daughter with them, and then of course I got to take a photo with them. And then I think that's it for those photos. Now I did want to show you one last thing because at the end of the night, the witch actually says goodnight to everyone, and she kind of asks everyone to leave. So let me share that with you, and I think I'm going to show.
Nita.
Okay, let me bring this up 1 second. Oops, I didn't share the right screen. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. No worries. I'm just constantly amazed about not Scary Farm. I never got the chance to go, but I watched like all the videos and everything people do for the event, and it is just insane.
It is. It is. So this is the very end. This is about a minute and a half, I think, or 2 minutes. A minute 44. So there's 2 more clips I'm going to show you. This is where she's saying goodnight to everyone and asking everyone to leave, and then another clip where she's asking people to leave. It's pretty funny.
Oh wow. I like the green lighting. Barry, is there sound?
Yeah, is it not playing?
No, I'm not hearing it.
Oh, that's so weird.
You may have to opt in for the
opt in for the
sound. For the sound, if you share, are you
how do I
sharing
opt
you're
out?
sharing your window, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Maybe we'll do this then. It's not as close, but let's go back to the
Okay.
my live stream.
No worries, it happens. Sometimes I'm like, did I share audio? Because if I share a tab, it'll automatically do audio. But if I share my window, you have to like click it. It's
Oh,
so
really?
counterintuitive, and StreamYard just
Okay.
make it so harder than it needs to be.
Wow.
So then let's do this then. All right. Sorry about that. And was it didn't look like it was skipping on mine, but it looked like it was lagging on yours. So
I blame
here we go.
AT&T.
All right.
Here we go.
I have to adjust it a bit to find the actual spot, and it's not going to be as close as the other one I was just showing. Oops.
You've managed to make it alive this far, have you? I can see your face shiny, long, and great.
Is that Sarah Marshall?
Yes.
But the allure of not staring far draws you in, and your next trip into the fall may be your last. Now, get out.
Don't have to go home, but you got to get out of here.
It's what she says afterwards because people aren't leaving.
I wouldn't recognize you in a crowd of two people.
Far away for the dog.
But she knows. Yeah, sorry, I was doing a short video, and that's why I hadn't zoomed in. There we go.
I'm not insulting you. I'm describing you.
That is awesome.
Get out.
I think it's a blogger thing that she says next, or something about TikTok.
Yes, we know you love Halloween, but you can take off your mask. Hurry along home. You've got content to create. TikTok, TikTok.
Isn't that great?
Oh, that's funny.
I'm busy now. Can I ignore you some other time? I like how.
She's like, y'all can go now.
I mean, fog.
She says, "See you in the blog, see you in the fog." That's awesome.
All right. You guys ready?
So that's basically what the event is like. If you want to see the whole thing, obviously you can go to my live stream and check it out and see some of the other things. I'll walk through the maze. It's a lot of fun. And by the way, during the stage part, there is some lag, so I apologize for that. But unfortunately, Knott's Berry Farm is not the best for AT&T. As we've been talking. But it's a lot of fun. And if you think about it, this is where all these, Halloween haunts, originated from, was right here at Knott's Berry Farm, or Scary Farm.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just awesome to watch. I mean, first of all, it's like Halloween in LA/Orange County is on a whole nother level. Because when I lived there for 5 years, and it was like Halloween, and I lived near some special effects guys, their yards were, I'm like, wow, this is like being in a movie. And then going to Halloween time at Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
the costumes were, everything was crazy. And I didn't get a chance to go to Not Scary Farm, but everything I kept hearing about Not Scary Farm. And then I'm looking at the videos, and I'm like, oh, this is nuts. But you're right, there's so many elements, and I can see exactly what you're talking about, having it start there, and it just kind of like spread. So I find it interesting that this I'm gonna call it a little park. Well, let's say this boutique park that's so small has such a big reputation for how they do things at their park, and especially for events like this. So, real quick question, Barry Place, what
Mm-hmm.
are the admission prices for Not Scary Farm?
Of course, you're going to ask me that, and I don't have those up. Hold on, I can get
Oh,
it
it's okay.
for you. Oh, in
I
fact,
should
here
have
we
asked earlier
so
about that.
it's they start at $59.99, which is actually really good.
It's good.
Yeah, and then if you want a mission and a meal bundle, it's only $75. If you want the nightly all inclusive, that means
Yeah.
the front of the line, what they call it, the fright and fast lane. So you get to go not only through the mazes front of the line, but the rides as well. It's $200, and then if you want the Not Scary Farm pass, it's $159 for that. Unless you're an annual pass holder, then I think it's like $155. You can go every single night if you want to. So then they also have the buffet. Oh, the buffet is actually $45 this year. Actually, a little bit cheaper, it looks like. The fast lane by itself is $150. If you want the very important monster tour, which they actually take you on a tour of up to, it's a private guide for up to 6 hours. You get the buffet, you get an event shirt, you get parking, you get access to all the rides and mazes. That's $550. And then if you just want a Scary Farm group admission, if you have anywhere from 15 to 99 people, it's only $55 per person. So it's, compared to a lot of the other ones, it's pretty reasonable. Now, I will say that Hallow Scream is pretty reasonable too, but our SeaWorld Hallow Scream is not as good as the Orlando one. And it's very, I think it's like 5 mazes and like 3 scare zones. And so it's very basic. It's not scary as Not Scary Farm or HHN, but it's still fun to go to. But if you want the original, this is the one you got to come to. So next time you're out, Lorena or Ron, you guys have to come check it out because it is an amazing thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's,
it looks great.
I haven't
and
been
a
to
great
California.
value.
I haven't been since 2012, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Nita is in the chat. Fried chicken and boysenberry turnover is yum. Yep.
Oh,
And I will tell you, the great thing about Knott's Berry Farm is that they have all these great events during the year. It's not just Knott's Scary Farm, but you got Knott's Scary Farm, you got Knott's Merry Farm during Christmas time, which I think is amazing. They've got the Knott's Boysenberry Festival. You've got the Peanuts celebration for all the Snoopy gang members. You've got what else do they have? Knott's Summer Nights, where they have some amazing bands playing. And if you you can probably find it on my channel or Theme Park Casuals channel. We go back and we've covered Knott's Summer Nights on our channel, where they have some amazing bands and DJs playing. They also have Ghost Town Alive that's going on right now, also on the weekends, where the town of Calico actually comes to life. They have actors playing as if, they are really working in the general store or as the sheriff or, I don't know, as the town crier. I mean, there's so many things going on, and they send you on errands, and it's just a very fun.
Oh,
so it's something that is for everyone. And by the way, right now, annual passes $99 for just Knott's Berry Farm. If you want to add the water park, it's like what, $110 or $115. It's very, very reasonable, cheap compared to Disneyland that's charging, or even Walt Disney World that's charging a heck of a lot more. So
That's like $1,500 a year.
Oh, mine's more.
Oh my gosh.
I get two theme parks at Disneyland, and it's more than Walt Disney World. It's crazy. So
That's nuts.
Wow, this looks like such a fun event, folks. So if you're out there in California or going to visit, make sure you put Knott's Scary Farm definitely on your to-do list for sure. So Barry, how much longer do we have you for?
actually, I'm going to take off now, if that's all right. But thank you for having me on today. It's always a pleasure being on your show, and Ron, always a pleasure seeing you and working with you on
Absolutely.
different channels. But yeah, definitely, if you guys don't mind, please come check out my channel. You can find me on all the social medias at BarryPlays28. So that's TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and you can usually find me streaming either on my channel, or I also have a channel with Theme Park Casual in Cordy, California, called the Park Streamers Hangout, so that we do on Mondays every 2 weeks, and we're doing one this coming Monday. So in 2 days, come join us. It's 8 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about Knott's Scary Farm and how it went. We're also going to be talking about Oogie Boogie because that starts for us tomorrow. So definitely come. And we are going to have at least one scare actor, maybe two, on our show on Monday, hopefully for our show. So hopefully you guys can come and join us. It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
and you can find us on YouTube
so
at Park Streamers.
Yep, folks, go to Park Streamers Hangout. You guys can find that. I will have a link to all of that, Barry's channel, Park Streamers Hangout channel, Ron's channel, all of that in the description box after the stream. So please make sure you subscribe to Barry Plays. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I sure do appreciate when you drop in, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And thank you for the open invite, Lorena. I appreciate it. Ron, have a great day. Chat, everyone, have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. Like I said, make sure that you subscribe to Barry Plays. He has an amazing channel with regards to the West Coast parks. Never done Oogie Boogie. I heard it is absolutely fabulous. Wow, you're in for a treat, because that is a very, very coveted ticket from what I understand.
Hey, Lorena, can I just say something? That the witch at Knott's Berry Farm scared the heck out of me. I'm going to be spending the rest of the day forgetting Sarah Marshall. I had to. I've been waiting to.
Apris Carmageddon says, did you hear of the Phantasmic brawl at Disneyland? Hair was pulled, people were arguing, and 3 people got escorted off property from the Blue Bayou reserved area. Yes, I did hear about that, and I've actually been in that area for Phantasmic at Disneyland. So, folks, come on, let's be civil. Okay, granted, it was nowhere near the throwdown in Toontown, okay, but still.
Or the one in Fantasyland in front of PhilharMagic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a friend that was working during that, who I used to. It was a friend who was a fellow coworker when we were lifeguards together during that interim time, 2021, before we'd gone back to our regular roles, and so he was working. He's attractions now in Fantasyland. I see him, whenever I go by, I would say hi to him when I see him in the parks, but he was working that, and he was like, dude, that was crazy. Never saw anything like that before at the Magic Kingdom. Come on, people, chill out.
It's like it's hot. Hey, Charles. It's like it's hot. Things are expensive, and
yeah, and I think I think that whole pent up everything, that emotion from that time that so much was closed down and you couldn't get out, you couldn't do anything. And I think all of us internalize that to some degree. And we're not just seeing it, obviously, at Disney parks. We're kind of seeing it everywhere where that when that stuff goes down and you're like locked down and you're like, oh, this is like a house arrest, but I didn't do anything wrong. It's got to come out somewhere. So we saw it happening in riots in 2020 and then in parks, and it's just like it's dissipating. I feel like it's maybe dissipating now, even though this year, we've got that thing that happens every 4 years in November, so that causes a lot of animosity. But hopefully it can all kind of chill. Everybody chill.
Everybody chill and get scared out of your darn wits at Halloween Horror Nights. Of course, this is going to be my 3rd year going to the Halloween Horror Nights event. It all kicks off on the 30th for the general public, although there's a special premium Scream night that is the night before on the 28th. So basically for 300 or some odd bucks for a very reduced crowd, you get to have Halloween Horror Nights to yourself. In a way, it's kind of smart because they have this limited event and they can kind of work out some of the kinks that are going on the first night with their limited capacity. But Friday is when it kicks off. Yes, I will be live streaming from there on Friday. And on Saturday, I cannot show you inside the houses. They will not let you film inside the houses. However, we do a bunch of other stuff. And if last year is any indication, some of the scare actors who like to be on film will video bomb me regularly. We'll see. So folks, in case you don't know, Halloween Horror Nights kicks off at Universal Orlando every year around late August or so. It's no joke. And it's no overstatement to say that this is the biggest premier Halloween event in Orlando.
It's in the nation.
I think so.
I think it's in the nation because, like, I remember working at it. I can't believe it's been 14 years. I was a scare actor. And I'm thinking back on my whole career, and it's so weird. Like, I forgot that even I think back when I was 16, I was working in haunted houses in downtown St. Louis. And so I'm looking back now and I'm thinking, because you only do it in November, so it's not like something I think about a whole lot, but like I've worked in a bucket ton of different haunted houses as a scare actor, from just regular haunted houses that are on their own, independent, in St. Louis, Six Flags. I did Fright Nights several years. I did HHN. I was a ghost and haunt tour guide, like for real ghosts in Branson, Missouri. So I've spent my career around this kind of spooky stuff. And you know what probably did it for me? What probably set it off, my desire to do all that, was Michael Jackson's Thriller. Because that was so good. And that was
so good.
It's just like, so makes you want to be a part. It's spooky and scary, but it's also so fun. But I will say, and a lot of people don't acknowledge this, I just want to acknowledge all of the custodial staff at the end of the night of HHN. Because there's a lot of human stuff that they have to clean up.
It is how I think I told somebody, I said it is like the cleanup crew at Mardi Gras in New Orleans. That's pretty much what the cleanup crew at Halloween Horror Nights is like. Don't wear your good shoes. That's all I'm gonna say. They say don't wear your good shoes in the quarter. Don't wear your good shoes to Halloween Horror Nights. And no, Nita, they don't do the fireworks show. There used to be like a water and pyrotechnic show, but they don't do that. And they haven't done it, I think, since the pandemic. They do have the Nightmare Fuel show, but no fireworks unless they change it up this year. I haven't I haven't heard anything just yet. Hey, Emily, I hope I said hi to you before when I saw you pop up. I didn't mean to ignore you, but yes,
The
Halloween Horror Nights is about to be on and popping, and hopefully you guys can see this. If not, I'm gonna blow this up. So for Halloween Horror Nights, of course, you have got 10 haunted houses, 3 of them that are IPs, and please do not. Dang it, I had it here. Let me switch here. Okay, so I can show you. Okay, please don't copyright claim me for this. Universal Orlando, you shouldn't. But there's 3 IP houses. You've got Insidious. You have got A Quiet Place. So this one here is Quiet Place. And what is the third one? I just saw that. So there's Insidious. Oh, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So those are the 3 IP houses that they're going to have for Halloween Horror Nights. The IP houses, I always consider them to be kind of hit or miss. I find that the original houses that Universal does are a bit better, but it kind of depends on what's going on. So Quiet Place, this is probably going to be really freaking scary. I've never seen the movies, but the bugs, for some reason, they remind me of the bugs in Starship Troopers. So those are the 3 here. They're the IP houses, and then the other houses that they have. You've got Eternal Bloodlines. You've got Monstrous, the Monsters of Latin America. You've got Slaughter Cinema 2, the Museum Deadly Exhibits, Major Sweets Candy Factory, Goblin Feast. Now, I've gone in a Goblin Feast haunted house. It was pretty crazy. And Triplets of Terror. So these are those 10 haunted houses that they have at Halloween Horror Nights. Now, here's the thing about the haunted houses at Halloween Horror Nights. Crowded. The lines in freaking sane. If you have not bought an express pass, you could be in line for up to 2 hours before you get into any of these houses. It's just the thing. Ron, would you agree with that?
Oh, it's wild. I was looking for something. I found it from my Halloween Horror Nights days. The proof that I was in this house. Only those that worked in the house got these. That's my Havoc Dogs of War button for working in the house. We were the #1 house in 2010.
Oh, cool.
We all shaved our heads, including the women, which was awesome.
Oh,
we were supposed to be super soldiers gone wrong. We all had UPC labels across our heads, and it was awesome. But so what I can say from working there, like you go in and you get to make up your costume, all that kind of stuff, and then we would line up. We would get to the house. Now you also have change out every 45 minutes. Your shift ends and there's a shift change out. And so we go kind of a backstage area, but you see the crowds, you see the people waiting to get into your house. And it's like even as a scare actor, you can't believe that many people are waiting. Cause I mean, it's like a 3-hour long line. It can easily get up to 3 hours. And the later at night, the longer they get. Like they don't shorten, they get longer, because people wait. A lot of people want to come to this event when it's dark. So get there early, get in the houses early that you want to get scared in. But I mean, it's such an event. There's really nothing this big, this grand. I don't think. I mean, obviously, I was looking at the Not Scary Farm. Obviously, very very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But even the Knott's Berry Farm, I think, has more of the Haunted Mansion type of element to it, where you're scared, but it's fun. And I'm telling you, this can be scary, scary. Like, yes, it is supposed to be fun, but it's not Haunted Mansion level at all. This is like, you will pee your
No,
pants.
no, do not bring, your kids or your little kids to go to these houses because okay, so like Frozen Empire, yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I won't say intensely scary. Of course, it's probably got jump scares, weird looking with the Ghostbusters, Slimer, all that stuff. I would put it on the level of Beetlejuice. I will actually know more once I do the behind the scenes tour about a week after Halloween Horror Nights starts. So I'm going to get to tour 6 houses, and I believe 3 of them are the IP houses. So I'll be able to
Cool.
let you know for sure. A Quiet Place is probably again, it depends on how they do it with the IPs. It could be scary, but it's like you got bugs jumping out. Okay, you got bugs jumping out. Insidious, this is the one I would really be worried about. And not in a bad, let's put it this way. When it comes to intense, absolute terror, because I've seen the Insidious series. So the opportunity for oops, I crap my pants kind of scares is very, very, very high. Like case in point, I didn't watch The Haunting of Hill House before I went into The Haunting of Hill House haunted house. That one freaked me out. I literally needed like a couple of minutes to like process what happened. People were coming out of that one sweating, crying, all of that. I'm like, why? It can't be that bad, can it? Yeah. Insidious. Yeah, that one. That
Pro
one's the
tip:
one. Yeah.
wear your adult diaper.
Mm-hmm.
Just even if you've never worn one before, just wear it to Halloween Horror Nights, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's all good.
Yes, you will. You will hear lots of vulgarities for sure. But yeah, if you get the express pass, which you should, it is worth it. It is the difference between you getting done all the haunted houses, like say the event starts at 7, you getting them all done by 10, while everybody else won't get them done till probably like 2 a.m. or so. And yes, it's open until 2 a.m.
Yes, it
So
is. That's
you
why
need
I
to
only
do
did
that.
one season.
Hmm.
I did not like getting home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's not fun. However, there is a budget tip that I will give you, and that is trying to find the darn tickets where I had it. There is something that is called the Stay and Scream event. What that is, or ticket, or what that is, and I believe it's about 50. I think it's about $50 this year. Okay, here we go. Okay, Halloween Horror Nights Scream early ticket. Okay, if you have more time than money, this is what you need to do. So you get in, you have to have a ticket already for Halloween Horror Nights. But if you get this ticket and you pay $50, you can get into the park at 3 o'clock. So that gives you enough time to get in, get sorted out, get checked in. We grab something to eat, maybe not grab something to eat, get checked in, and then make sure you know which haunted houses, 1, 2, 3, are tops on the list. And then you find out where the lines are, because they will let you. They may not let you get in line right away, but if you're in the holding pen already and they decide to open the haunted houses up early, which I have seen happen, you're already there and you're not stuck behind all the folks who can't get into the park until 7 o'clock. So again, that's $55 per person. It is a limited capacity ticket. So once they sell out of them, they will not have them. So I would highly suggest, if you have less money than time and you don't have money for the express pass, get the Scream Early ticket. I mean, granted, it's not going to be as fun or as intense, well, not as intense as, say, getting there at night, but you will actually get in if money is, if money is tight, which it is for a lot of people. Larissa Perez says that's a ticket I buy here in Hollywood. They guarantee early entry to lower lot houses. Yeah. So you can get in, do those, and go over to the ones that you want. HHN sponsored by Japan. I've seen people. I mean it is an absolutely crazy event. It's packed. It is very loud. So if you don't like really loud noise, you might either want to skip this event or get earplugs. Honestly, I forgot last year to get earplugs, and I should have, because eventually that noise kind of starts to, it's like a snowball, and you kind of start to get, disoriented. And if you have an Apple Watch like I do, it keeps telling you about decibel levels and everything. So you probably want to bring earplugs. The other thing is there is a lot of smoke that is used at this event. If you are sensitive to that sort of thing, and actually I am, so I have to kind of dip into restaurants or get into one of the attractions just to get some clean air for a while. That's just something to keep in mind. Probably won't affect you right away, but that smoke, they use a lot of it there, so you probably want to keep that in mind as well. Let's see. Talked about express passes, single night tickets. However, I would say, so the single night tickets start at $82.99 per person. Now that depends on what night it is. The closer you get to Halloween, the more expensive it is going to be. But for me, I got the frequent fair pass. Where's that is? Yeah, that's what I got. I got the frequent fair, Halloween Horror Nights frequent fair pass. Gives me access for up to 30 nights of Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, I paid, I think, like, what is it? I think with tax, it was like $250. $250 for 30 nights. Compare that to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, where you're paying between $150 to $220 for one night. But it's a different audience, so keep that in mind. You could also buy, well, you could, but it sold out within a day. You could get the express pass with this. I think with the express pass, this was like $700, and the ultimate one was like $1,000. Yeah, they sold out for the express pass, because of course they have to limit that amount of money. That's how much you pay for that. But yeah, those are the tickets. And let's see here. We talked about the haunted houses. The other thing, and I'm usually better at this than this. The other thing is that they have 5 scare zones. And the scare zones, I tell people, the scare zones are like really, really creepy performance art. And they are fun when you go through them. So the first one, which is like at the beginning, when you walk in, I like want to show you here. This is the one where there's quote unquote duality of fear. So this is the new thing that they did this year. You walk in. This is usually where they haven't plussed it up yet with a lot of the decorations and everything. But what you see right there, like to the left, is like this pinkish violet swag here, and over here to the right is one that's teal. So you have sinister and surreal. So sinister is the more visceral horror. So if you walk straight and you go into the New York area, that's where the Renaissance Torture Fair scare zone is going to be. If you go to the right, where you pass surreal, that's where the Demon Queens one is going to be. It is. Let's see. Yep. Demon Queens is in Hollywood. Make your own jokes. Make your own jokes for that one. And let's see, once you get past New York and you're over towards San Francisco, that's where the Enter the Bloom House scare zone is going to be. And that's the one that I'm most excited about, where you've got Megan, Freaky, Purge, the Black Phone, that's over there. You've got Swamp of the Undead, which is over in the Central Park area. That one, I'll tell you right now, is the most scary at night because it's super dark and there's lots of places for the scare actors to hide. So when there's fog, that's the one I'm most scared of when I walk through there because it's just too many places for people to hide. And it's dark as I don't know what, and it's really cool. But the Torture Fair that's over in New York, that one, there's more of an area. There are more scare actors around there. Last year, this is where they had the Vampire Hippie Festival. I love that scare zone. I went through that sucker like 4 times in a night because it was so much fun going through there. Still scary. The more scared you look, let's just say scare actors will come after you. It's kind of funny to watch.
Are they bringing the Megans back?
I hope so. I missed them last year, so I'm hoping they bring them back. It says to Megan dancing into your nightmares, so I'm guessing that's gonna happen.
That was so creepy.
The dancing creepy Megans, which I can't wait to see. The Black Phone. I wonder if you try to pick up the Black Phone if the grabber jumps out. I wonder if that happens. I am just so intrigued with the Enter the Bloom House because not only do they have that scare zone, but right off of that scare zone, where that's usually where they have the Peacock Bar at, and I think that bar is also going to be Bloomhouse themed as well. They've really gone in on Bloomhouse this year. The Red Coconut Club, which usually switches to the Dead Coconut Club, that's going to have Bloomhouse theming as well. So if you are not, I tell people, if you're not a haunted house kind of person, with it being confined and everything, I know me personally, I don't because I'm too busy. I'm easy to scare in the haunted houses because I'm too busy trying to look to see how they do things. And then I get distracted, which makes me a great target to scare the heck out. Because I want to know what happened. Northman JH, Queens in Hollywood, Bloomhouse in San Francisco, Swamp in the Park, the Fair in New York. There is accidentally commentary there. I don't think you're far off. I don't think you're far off at all. So those are the scare zones. Then they have the Nightmare Fuel show. This is not for kids, folks. Okay. I have to keep reiterating this because people, for some reason, will think that it's okay to bring their little kids to Halloween Horror Nights. I mean, they're your kids, you know your kids. However, this is a very adult event.
Now, did this replace the what was it? Keanu Reeves. Why can't I think of this? The show that was the Keanu Reeves thing. What was that they did for years?
I don't remember. 'Cause if there was, I never went to that particular show.
It was the one.
But there's a big, huge theater back there. I can't remember what it was. I didn't even know this theater existed. Really,
Is this the theater where they had Fear Factor, right?
you know what? I think you're right, or Larissa. Oh,
Bill and Ted.
was it Bill
Jeez,
and
thank
Ted?
you. Like, I don't know why I could not think of that, but yeah, for years they had the Bill and Ted's show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing maybe if it's back in that theater that they replaced, because I think I
Mm-hmm.
remember hearing that it was going to be like the last year of Bill and Ted's a few years ago.
Yeah, go and Shogi, but it's different. Like with Deadpool and Wolverine, it's more comedy, potty humor, gross humor. You don't see people getting faux decapitated. So it's different. But again, it's like if you know your kids, that's fine. But it's like just be advised. It is geared towards a late teen to adult.
I think it's like a
Adult
PG-13 type of event, right? They recommend they recommend that they be 13 and up. There's not like any legal requirements or anything, but it's just a recommendation. And again, it's about knowing your own kids and what they can take. If you know your kids get scared and stuff, don't be that parent that takes them just because you want to go.
See, I was the weirdo. I'd be like, yeah, I want to go to this. Some of the kids are like me. We're just like, yeah, where's the vampires at? But yeah, Nightmare Fuel, it is a crazy show. And I liked watching it, but let me tell you, it's loud. It is a very adult show, and they will remind you that it is an adult show. So that's Nightmare Fuel. Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably cursing. I think there's cursing too. I know that in the Bill and Ted show they were allowed to do. There was some cursing in that show.
Mm-hmm.
There was they had me the year that I was a scare actor. They had me come audition because in the Bill and Ted show they did a lot of current pop culture stuff, and they had me audition for the role of the situation. the character, the guy from Jersey Shore. I guess that worked into the show that year somehow, but it was funny. I obviously didn't get it, but it was funny that they had that going on. What is this food? I'm looking at the. Is that
there's two
pepperoni
things.
Pizza on fries?
Yeah. So they'll have those. They'll have like the twisted taters, or they'll have the spiral potato seasoned on a stick, or like the foot-long hot dog with the potato around it. Last year, I didn't get to spend as much time on the food, so I'm actually will this year. In years past, the food is not the starring event at Halloween Horror Nights. It can be very, very, very hit or miss. The two things I tried last year was actually pretty good. I think one was like ravioli. Do I still have the can? It's like back that way. I had the ration from The Last of Us ration can that had like ravioli in it. I think it was like cream-based ravioli, which was actually pretty good. I had that. The other thing that I had was from the Chucky cart, which it was served in like a little popcorn cup, and it had like chicken nugget bites tossed in like hot honey sauce, and had saffron threads on it, and it had like cut up chives on it. It was actually really good. But that's all I tried. And I passed on the Chucky bucket. I'm not passing on the Chucky popcorn bucket this year. So it talks. So I gotta get the Chucky popcorn bucket. But yeah, they have like all these. Some of them are really weird concoctions, like a blood burger and stuff like that. But yeah, portion wise, it's actually pretty good. I will say this: the portions are definitely bigger than what you would get in Walt Disney World. I think no, you do. As a pass holder, you do get discounts, except on liquor, but you will get discounts on the food at the individual food stands. It's a lot of liquor, which, yes, it is expensive. If you get liquor, get the refillable glass or cup. Make sure you get that. So you just pay for the refill price for what's going on. Hey, Geo Jaxis, how's it going? It's going good. Going good. Glad you're here. And yeah, there's merchandise that's there too as well in the Halloween Horror Nights store. I will say a tip: the closer you get to Halloween, the cheaper stuff gets. So that's something to keep an eye on. I think I got like a $20 T-shirt for like $5 around November 30th. hmm But they have cool swag for Halloween Horror Nights. This year, I need to get my Hello Kitty Chucky T-shirt. I thought that was going to go on sale, and it never did. So I'm really gonna have to go and pick it up. So yeah, they have the food and drinks. They have merchandise. They also have the themed bars. Well, not bars, themed lobbies in all of the resorts at Universal Orlando. So you can go and get pictures and stuff like that. I'm gonna check those out. Let's see, I talked about that. Talked about the hotels, because hotels are themed. I love how they did that with Cabana Bay. Looks so creepy. Looks so absolutely creepy. So yeah, that's what's going on with Halloween Horror Nights. It is one of the most expensive times to travel to Orlando. I will tell you that right now. Pretty much every night is crowded, even during the week. That's kind of what really hit me about this event. It seems, well, first of all, Saturday night is insane. It's absolutely nuts. Saturday night. The only reason I'm going Saturday night is because it's opening weekend next week, but usually I don't. So even if I go during the week, it's still lot a lot of people.
Yeah, October is definitely a huge busy month because you've got all of the Halloween events happening, the special event, especially ticketed events. You've also got food and wine happening at Epcot. So it's one of those times of the year that people don't just come down for just Universal or Disney, although people do, but also people come down because there's so many different Halloween events. And Orlando, like, we don't have the beautiful changing colors of the fall and stuff, so we kind of have to make up for it with this Halloween stuff, and we do in a big way. And so if you want to celebrate the scary season, the spooky season, this is definitely a great town to do it in, because we got everything going on here. I'm sure a lot of towns do, but like, it's just you got this Halloween Horror Nights, then you got Mickey's Not So Scary, then you got Hallow Scream, then you got the Trick or Treat Trail, which is free at SeaWorld as part of your admission, and then all kinds of other extraneous things going on in Orlando outside of the parks. It's just like, it's a crazy time to be here. And like I said, food and wine is also going on, which is a huge event for Epcot. So yeah, everything gets busier in once you get to late September and especially October. October's got to be one of the busiest months. This has to be.
October, it's
like
is.
Christmas, really.
It is. It's like Christmas. It didn't used to be that way, but this is such a destination event, and there's so much that's going on, and people come into town just for this particular event, and it's just, it never ends. It's like an endless stream of people that goes away that first week in November, and then they start to come back after Thanksgiving. Q435, any food or drink you're most excited to try from Halloween Horror Nights? I have not seen the menus yet. My suspicion is when I do my live stream on Monday from Universal, that they will have the menus up, because we've already seen the facades for the food stands. up. So I don't know yet because I haven't seen the menus yet. So I will definitely let you guys know. Go and Chogi says Halloween puts Universal and Knott's in the black for the rest of the year. Yes, these events, it is literally a shut up and take my money type of events just because of everything that's there, and it's like I have to have this, I have to do this experience. It is crazy, especially where they sell the liquor and the drinks at. Mm-hmm. They do. Hey, Soccer at Thief15. Good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. So that's pretty much everything that I have about Halloween Horror Nights. Just kind of wanted to touch base with you guys about it, give you some information about it. Wonder if you guys had any questions. My channel is pretty much 100% Halloween Horror Nights next week, since since that's when it's gonna be popping off. It's like Food and Wine. Probably not gonna get there until the week after after it starts. But this is huge. It's a huge deal, and it's gonna be crazy. And I can't wait for all the stuff that's gonna happen. So let's jump to, I was gonna say, our last topic that I wanted to show you guys. And of course, we're coming back to Helios Grand Hotel. This has been under construction, and usually what Universal likes to do is they just work on stuff, and then later on down the line says, oh, by the way, we have this thing coming out. So this week, actually, I believe it was Thursday, that they dropped information about the Helios Grand Hotel. So yes, this is a Lowe's hotel, just like all the other hotels that are on Universal property. And just to let you know, separate theme park admission required and not included. Well, that's pretty much par for the course. The other hotels, just because you stay there, does not give you admission into the park. So they will give you early admission. I do not know if this includes Epic Universe. I'm going to say that we don't know until they announce it. At the other resorts for Universal, you get early park admission included, regardless of your level of hotel that you stay at, from the values to their premium hotels. You get that early admission.
They might do an even more special early admission with Helios. They might actually, because it's attached to the park, they could very potentially have an hour that they don't let any other guests in other than Helios guests.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do an after hours thing there too. And I'm hoping that, because it's the top of the line Lowe's hotel, that they'll do the, if you stay at this one, you get the express pass included if you have a theme park ticket as well. Which I'm assuming we don't know any of that yet. I'm not, right?
We're kind of spitballing because the only thing that they've really concretely announced is, of course, that this hotel exists, that it's coming, that it has an insanely crazy themed 360-degree bar up at the top. And if you don't think that's a big deal, California Grill at Walt Disney World up in the Contemporary, that was only, I'd say, maybe about 180-degree view, quite possibly. Not 360.
No, I can tell you, I don't know if you've ever been up to the Dahlia Lounge at the Grand Destino building at Coronado
No,
Springs.
not yet.
Okay. So that's where I worked at Toledo, which was the restaurant up there. And the Dahlia Lounge is actually the only place up there that you can go outside. And it's a very, very small area. And it actually overlooks the parking lot of Coronado Springs and a little bit of Hollywood Studios in the distance. You can see Epcot fireworks from up there, but it's a major distance because you're several miles away. When Hollywood had their fireworks show, it was actually a good view of their show, but right now Hollywood is doing very few fireworks. So you can see the little few sparks from Fantasmic and the other shows that they do, but they don't do a full fireworks show at Hollywood right now. And Magic Kingdom is completely on the other side, so the only place you can see those fireworks from is inside the restaurant Toledo. So the views at that particular they're very pretty. You know, you get a beautiful sunset from up there. And I always enjoyed that because I was up there like every day. And there's a funny thing about that restaurant too, is there is a matching balcony, but it's only accessible by cast members working there. so we had a better view. Cast members did have a better view of the fireworks than the guests, which I thought was really funny because somebody didn't think about that when they were engineering the thing. But what I wanted to say is because I have this experience of being up there for years, right? This, because I know where it's built, I know what it's going to overlook, is going to be like, I hate to say this, but like 1,000 times better as far as a high rise. As a matter of fact, when I saw this video, I was thinking, I'm tempted to apply because I could probably get on there since I know a thing or two about opening a brand new restaurant at a high level hotel. But I'm like, I really want to grow my YouTube channel so I can enjoy it as a guest, because it's a very different experience enjoying something as a guest than as a person that works there. And I kind of just want to enjoy it as a guest because it's I don't want anything to take away from my experience as a guest. And you know, it kind of does when you've worked with it, when you've seen how the sausage is made, so to speak, or in my case, seen how the octopus was prepared. True story. I have the pictures to prove it. Yeah, it's I just want to like take this in because
my gosh, look at this.
Yeah, the how to train your dragon themes. By the way, if you're staying in here, you're actually going to see dragons literally flying by your room in the air. It's going to be nuts.
I get look just with the like with the theming, how the beds, and they're not like straight on, the kind of curved a little bit, and this much imagination being put into the room. They're going to be booked, so they're probably going to be they're going to be sold out for quite some time. There's only 14 of them. 14 of them that you can book. But notice that the theming for Celestial Park, even the Atlantic restaurant, it all lines up with what Helios looks like. They've got queen rooms, they've got king rooms, they've got club level. I so want to stay club level so bad.
I really hope, I don't know if they're going to do this. What's that triple-decker bus called, Harry Potter?
The night bus.
The night bus. There's, I've heard rumblings about the possibility that the night bus might take people between this and like the City Walk drop off. But my understanding is that regardless, they are going to have some type of themed bus transportation that has exclusive roadway access to the roadways that are building between here and City Walk. So it's going to be very seamless when you're staying here and you go to the Universal and Islands of Adventure parks or Epic Universe. It's still going to feel like an on-property vacation in the way that it does if you're staying at Disney World and you take a bus from, for example, Port Orleans, which isn't connected to any of the parks. There's a riverway to Disney Springs, which sometimes works, but yeah, that it's going to seem very seamless when you get on the bus from here and go to Islands of Adventure, or you get on the bus at Hard Rock and you come to Epic or whatever. It's going to be, I mean, the whole thing, they've lined it up to be great, and they even got their own special district for this time. So that's something as well to consider.
They did. They said, "Oh, we want a district, special district like Disney," and the state said, "No, this is not our first rodeo. You're not gonna, you're not gonna get that." But to Ron's point, there is this traffic circle that they're building, and I keep getting rerouted every time. Getting rerouted lately from going down Kirkman to turn onto Sand Lake because they keep moving us over a little bit, and you can see that like raised traffic overpass that they're doing. So that's purposely so the buses can get over there and they have their own dedicated lanes. It's kind of like how at Walt Disney World you can see that there's certain lanes that are just for the buses and they're not, with the rest of the traffic. But I agree. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to have these buses that are, that are themed, and it's very seamless to get there. And it looks like they're building thoroughfares so that they're not stuck on. You do not want to be anywhere near iDrive traffic. Okay, iDrive, Sand Lake Road. They've got, an easement to get there. So this hotel, literally, I haven't been excited about staying at a hotel in quite some time. And seeing this hotel get built from the ground up, I pass it like twice a week. If you're on Destination Parkway, if you go from John Young, Destination Parkway, the Epic Universe Wawa is being built there. I'm just saying they're building that right now. You go over this overpass, and then there's this gorgeous lake, and then you see the Helios Hotel. It is absolutely freaking. It's amazing. This is going to be a shut up and take my money type of hotel. Stella Nova, which I have a reservation to stay at in January. It's a nice hotel. It's nice. It's value. I think now it's value premium. So it's like you have Stella Nova, you have Terra Luna, and then you have Cabana Bay. They're all in that section right there. But this one is just like, this is next level. Totally. Kate F says, do you think claims of if Disney made this, they'd be criticized are fair? Because I've seen that. What do you think, Ron? I'll let you answer that.
Okay, so I know of one person who made this claim, and I'm not going to say his name is Tom from WDWNT. I won't say that that's who it is. Okay, so here's the thing. It was based on only the picture of the lobby, and so I want to say that it was somewhat out of context. It was being compared to what they're doing at the Polynesian, with the two pictures side by side of a snippet picture of the lobby of Helios side by side with that very bland lobby picture of the Polynesian, where all the colors are a version of beige.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the argument when that was attempting to be made, because that little snippet of this building did not look like the level of theming of the 1990s, right? So, but I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, that's a little bit different. See, I would say that some of those criticisms against Disney have even been unfair, because when I worked at the Grand Destino, the way that was themed, and it has to do with Spain, and I loved the theming of Grand Destino. I think it's fabulous. I got to work there, got to be part of the team. I'm not ever going to say anything bad against it. It just wasn't that fun theming like you had at Art of Animation. So Art of Animation is very Disney-esque themed. The Polynesian is very well themed with. But the new building doesn't fit, right? Some of the criticism has come against the Riviera Hotel for being more bland and more Marriott-like, but I understand it's not as well themed as some of the others that are at Disney. It's a very much smaller property. Like when you look at when you walk into the lobby, for example, of Wilderness Lodge, or you walk into the
Mhm.
lobby of Animal Kingdom Lodge, the Jumbo House, even the smaller one at Kidani Village, those are amazingly themed. Versus that new thing that they're doing at the Polynesian does look like a Hilton or Marriott, or very just not even that. It's very bland. To me, this it's hard for me to say, okay, the name of this is Helios. What does that mean in conjunction with walking into Celestial Park and how it's going to all work together? But there's other parts of this that are the bar upstairs, the 360 bar. There's a restaurant with balconies. There's all the floral. You can see the different colors that are in this. There's the pinks and the greens and the blues, along with the whites. This lobby does, to me, seem a little reminiscent of the Riviera lobby, but I
Mhm.
think this is going to be much more grand. Whereas if you've ever, the first time I walked in the Riviera lobby as somebody who used to work for DVC, I went, wow, this is really small. This is not, your typical huge, beautiful, gorgeous Disney lobby. This is really toned down in comparison. It's nice, but it's just way toned down. Whereas I think this is going to be much more grand than it actually looks in these depictions and this artist. This is just an artist rendering.
Mhm.
I think that
Yeah.
I really think that this is going to be like, yeah, exactly, the rooms. When you get to the rooms and you get to the themed rooms, I think this is going to be over the top amazing. In
Yeah,
reality,
I would have to agree with you. For people saying if Disney made this, they'd be criticized, are fair. Yes, I do. Here's the reason why. Disney has been in the theme park business in Orlando since 1971. Disney set their own standard as the gold bar standard. Lately, they have not been meeting their own gold standard. So that is what opens them up to criticism. When you have Universal, who hasn't been in the game that long, and they're taking risks in doing these things, is much different. Disney's competition truly is themselves. You're not giving us like the next iteration of the Polynesian that looks like the Polynesian, or a hotel that has that grand old world feel of, plus grandma off her medication, like the Grand Floridian. Okay. You're
well,
not giving us things that are, things that are like that. You're not giving us the next iteration of the Animal Kingdom Lodge or the Wilderness Lodge.
and they've been dumbing down their own hotels. They've been dumbing down, throwing IP in the contemporary. I still fail to see how the Incredibles and the contemporary go together in any way whatsoever.
No, doesn't
It's
match
just
Mary
really
Blair's
weird,
artwork. It
very
just,
weird.
no.
The dumbing down of the rooms at the Polynesian. Um, I like the aesthetic is changing to where somebody at the upper echelon of Disney thought, well, we need to make it more of a modern minimalistic thing.
Hmm.
And that's where the criticism is coming from, because Disney's not known for trying to fit in with society, but rather instead create this incredible fantasy. And they're no longer doing that. Disney's not creating incredible fantasy anymore. They are now moving towards the IKEA philosophy. When you look at some of the things that they've done
Hmm.
recently, it does what you said about Disney being their own competition. It's Disney's amazing past competing with the modern Disney that just doesn't have the chops that they used to.
Exactly. Because Disney, the original reasoning for the Disney resorts were that the resorts were attractions in and of themselves. Like, case in point, there is a difference between me walking into the, Incredibles overlay in the contemporary, as opposed to, say, going into the Wilderness Lodge, where before you even, as soon as you get through the gate, you feel like you are in one of the great, national parks in the US. You see the big lodge that you have to go through. You walk through the doors of the lodge and you see these intricate carvings and you see these totem poles and you look up at like where the rooms are and how everything is just so intricate and looks like you are nowhere else. Like you're not in Orlando at all. They've got like the little brook with the bridge. That's where like the water starts that goes like out, outside. You have that. You've
They have a
got
geyser.
like,
They literally have a
yeah,
geyser there.
they literally have a geyser that's there. Old school rocking chairs there in front of a fireplace where the fireplace grating is like, I think it's like hand carved or something like that.
There's
Things like
also an
that.
amazing tribute to Walt Disney himself over there in the other building, the DVC. I think it's Boulder Ridge. You go over there, and there's a train room, and it shows Walt's and his love for train. I don't know if you've ever been in it. It's really cool when you go in that side building, that DVC building, and there's this whole thing about Walt and Walt's love for trains and why trains ended up being the basis for how we ended up getting Disneyland in the first place, because he built that train in his backyard. And it's just like, it's so super cool. And it's nice to see that at least so far that's been left alone and we can actually see some of Walt in Disney. I mean,
It's literally to the point where it's like some stuff I don't even want to say, but because you guys are my community, I'm going to tell you when I go to places like Pinocchio Village House and just being in there, it feels like Walt Disney. Going to the Whispering Canyon Cafe where they do anything but whisper. And it's such a rip roaring fun experience. I took my sister when she came to visit. She absolutely freaking loved it.
yeah,
Between the huge portion sizes to how different the cast member personalities are, to yelling for the ketchup, to the jail if you don't finish eating your food.
got to ask for the ketchup, and you got to ride the pony, the little stick horse.
Yeah, you have to have, the pony ride. Sometimes they'll give you a coffee filter hat, for your birthday. And one of the cast members, she's always trying to recruit the kids to do hard labor, at the farm and stuff like that. But just to bring up, this is Aulani out in Hawaii, and you look at the buildings, and they don't look like cookie cutter Hilton type of buildings.
If there's a picture of the aquarium on that splash page, show that, because
There's an aquarium.
there's an amazing aquarium at Alani. And I don't know, it's in one of the buildings, and that is the thing that actually everybody I know that comes back to there talks about the aquarium. And it's not a paid attraction. It's something that is part of the resort.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. There was so much care and thought put into Alani, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ron, but I think this is the last thing that Joe Rody had input into,
It might be.
which is
Um,
probably why it looks the way that it does.
Joe is like, that's his thing, is detail. Like when you walk through the queue at Expedition Everest and you see the detail, and you like, I know technically I'm in a line queue for a roller coaster, but it so does not feel like you're in a line queue for a roller coaster. It feels like you are checking in to that bank at the bottom of at the bottom of Everest, and getting ready to actually go on a mountain expedition.
Oh my gosh, look at all the beach that's like on here. And all of that, it blends It blends perfectly. And of course, here they're talking about the Disney difference. But this was back.
What was the Disney difference?
Oh my
What did the Disney difference used to be?
gosh. Used to be, like it wasn't just a hotel.
Have you ever
It
stayed
was
at
an
Vero Beach?
experience. I have not.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I've had three different stays at Disney's Vero Beach Resort. Two of them were for our wedding anniversary, 2 years in a row. And we spent our 10th anniversary. This is my favorite vlog that I have. One of my favorite vlogs that I have on my channel is of Vero Beach. And even then, that was there during the Eisner era that was built. They were wanting to expand DVC to more places. And of course, you come to Florida and Disney didn't have a beach resort. And I'm like, and there's a lot of people who now they don't realize that Vero Beach is actually 2 hours from the parks, but it's an amazing resort to stay at. It has a small footprint, comparatively speaking, to other Disney resorts, but it is amazing to go there and experience Disney away from Disney. And you've got the beach, you've got all the activities of the beach, great restaurant. I think it's called the Wind and Waves now. It used to be called Shutters. But the cast members that are still there, well, the last time I went there was 2022, so maybe. But my guess is because they're isolated from the rest of Walt Disney World, they seem like a cut above anyway. Because they're all in that one resort. They're all very much family there. They were, that's the only people they work with. So it's a very, very different, very intimate kind of a feel. You still have all the Disney things. You still have the s'mores cookouts, the Disney pool, all of that theming. And it has an amazing set theme to it. Definitely not on the grand level like the Helios is going to be. It's much more of an intimate family level, but it's, you wake up in the morning, you look down from the inn and they're doing yoga on the grass below in front of the beach. It is my favorite beach resort that I've been to here in Florida. And it almost feels like you're not in Florida, but like, I don't know, Mexico or California or some other, it feels different than Florida beaches do for some reason. It's funny because there's a house on that beach right there that used to be owned by, Gloria Stefan bought it as a gift for her mom. So it was her mom's beach house. I think they've since sold it away from that family, but it just has a very, very cool feel. Certainly not on what the level of Aulani is, I'm sure, because it's in Hawaii, but what they were building they built it back when the Disney difference was a thing, right? And you felt that theming. And I think that's what people are talking about here, where the difference today is that, again, like you said, Disney competes with themselves and they don't seem to take that level of care anymore. I'm trying to see. Either Lorena's frozen or I am frozen, and I can't tell which one it is, but I know I've had this issue on my channel before. Let's see. Okay. We're going to wrap in 5. Lorena's frozen? Uh-oh, does that mean I get to take over the show for just a moment? Oh yeah, it is. It's just me. Hi everybody. I'm taking over Lorena's show. So hopefully I'm gonna vamp while she is trying to come back. She had that issue earlier in the show where her she had to like reboot something, but I'm gonna keep it going for her because I don't have a way to end it anyway. What I will say, just to kind of wrap up some of the things that we've talked about, is again, and I'm trying to get this toward the camera. There you go. Havoc Dogs of War. That was the house that I was in Halloween Horror Nights when I was a scare actor. It's Florentine says, and I don't have a way to put this up on the screen on my end. because I'm technically not the host. The Incredibles is a disrespect to the contemporary and the monorail. I feel like what they were going for when they did The Incredibles is The Incredibles, I think, originally takes place in an era of retro futurism. So that's kind of how they were trying to connect that IP, but it just, for me, it didn't seem to gel with the contemporary. I do have an idea for the contemporary that they should change the name to the retro at this point in time because it looks very 1970s, but that's a whole different idea than throwing in the Incredibles as IP there. Kept it going for you, Lorraine. I saw I had that issue.
No, I just saw it, just like it kicked me off again. I think the heat has finally gotten to some of their equipment. I swear, like near the end of the summer, it's like all of AT&T's fiber optic equipment just starts blowing up.
See, now I was under the impression that perhaps your equipment was being run by the same people that engineered Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So, but yours came back up. Yours came back up so much quicker. So, yeah.
Yes, mine is the one off where if that happens, the cast member comes down and says, "We're sorry for the inconvenience. Here's a magical fast pass to use to come back. We should be back up and running shortly." And within like an hour or so, I'm back up and running. Yeah, it's one of those. But it is that time of year where it's so hot here in Florida that stuff starts going a little crazy, where it's just like, okay, I've held up, I need a break from this freaking heat, I'm shutting down. But that's why. So yeah, about your Alani train, that's probably where I went.
She was in Alani.
I'm still kind of salty about Alani because they took Auntie Cowrie away from us, Polynesian, but I was glad she got to go home. But still, it was like, she's leaving. What? No, she can't leave the Polynesian. She can't leave it. Well, anyway. But folks, thank you as always for an amazing, amazing show. I want to thank Barry Place 28 for dropping in about Not Scary Farm. I want to thank Ron for being here as well. Next Saturday, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a Halloween Horror Nights hangover, but I'm going to be reporting on it. So we will be back, of course, with all other theme park stuff that's going on between Oogie Boogie, between that, Halloween time, all that stuff. It's going to be a very, very packed up, very, very packed show. But don't go anywhere, because as soon as the stream ends, we're going to send you over to Ron's channel, as he's got a stream coming up. What else do you have coming up besides the
I'm going to continue the conversation, but since we haven't covered it, I'll do SeaWorld. And,
okay.
There's a couple of things I want to talk about. This is like a last minute idea for this stream, but there's a big thing that happened in the news that's not really being covered. Huge thing that happened yesterday. I think it's monumental. I think it's unprecedented. It's a little political, so I won't talk too much about it here. You might be able to guess what it is by me simply saying that it's political in nature, but I'm just, my coverage of it is simply my surprise that the media is not blowing up over it, because I've never seen anything like this happen before. It's unprecedented, but mostly I'll be talking about theme park stuff and the movie that I'm most excited for coming up. I won't say exactly what it is, but the hint is, if you say the word 3 times, you'll conjure up the little fellow that's in it, because I want to talk about that. I'm so excited about this movie, and it's not getting a lot of attention, nearly as much as I would have thought. But I can tell you something. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fire. Wonderful movie.
I can't wait. I'm going to the early screening of
You've been to Saturn? I've been to Saturn. Sandworms? You ate them, right?
Yeah.
My favorite line. I've seen The Exorcist 357 times and it keeps getting better every single time I see it.
Time I see it.
So what do you think? Double
I love
qualified.
it. Oh my gosh, the Beetlejuice at Hollywood Studios is like the freaking best. Oh my gosh, he's so amazing. But folks, yeah, it's going to be a packed show next week. As for myself, 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be over on Retro Nerd Girls channel for a watch party of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. I have not seen that in ages, so we're going to watch that. Of course, 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, watch party for one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films, and that would be Total Recall. So we're going to be watching Total Recall tonight. So as always, thank you guys so much for your support. We
Consider
sure
that
do
a
appreciate.
divorce. Sorry,
Which one?
that's my favorite line. Consider that a divorce.
It is so good. There's so many great lines in that movie. That's so much freaking fun. I love it. Which is why we're gonna check it out. You folks have an amazing rest of your day. Remember, don't go anywhere. We're gonna send you right on over to Ron's channel for his stream. So you all take care, and we, of course, will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.